already told me, the price section had already told me. And then it wasn't until this year, these last few months, that I was looking even more on like areas to buy, areas to sell, because it's only a matter of time. And there's people out there making $10 million a month doing this, and I want their conviction, because their conviction is what gets the result. Their preparation is what gets the result. Just like in working out, the preparation is going to get the result. If I do not
Mm,
meal prep and I know I'm going to be hungry, I'm going to order DoorDash because I don't have anything ready to eat. And everything from fast food, for the most part, is between 1,000 to 1,500 to plus more calories. If I know I want to stay in a calorie deficit, then I can't afford 3,000 calories in a day
mm,
because I'm too lazy to meal prep what I know is going to be a constant set of calories. And if I'm losing weight, and I do asparagus, some roasted potato medley, and then salmon and a little bit of rice, and that if I'm always losing weight eating that, then everything else is going to compound by itself those results, because I don't have to think about it. So even in the market, it's about making my life easy, if that makes sense. But there's a season for everything. But that's why I was just like, man, I think that's what I gotta say, because I feel like I don't get to cross the bridge unless everything is said, unless everything is done, unless I meet certain people. It's like trading.
mm.
It's like the right symphony to the band of everything's matching like a big giant puzzle piece. And that's the most important part. So don't take price into perspective. Price into perspective is one thing, but it's like people gotta pay attention to the patterns. People gotta pay attention to the setup. They got to understand where they are in the market, and they got to know the rules, because if they don't know the rules, they're not going to have conviction enough to hold. They don't understand the dollar oil relationship, they're not going to have enough conviction to hold. If they don't understand what inflation is, they're not going to have enough conviction to hold and understand. And back in 2018, 19, I remember GBP used to move like 400 pips in a night. And then I might have to grab my charger in a second. And then like after 2020, it kind of just stopped doing that. Well, after Trump got out of office, it kind of stopped doing that. But it's like he's back in office now, but it's like even him in office now is a setup for something greater. So I never care about who the president is, because everything in the market is already set to do what it does, because the setups allow it. I knew in 2022 we was going to go on a giant bull run, but it's like technically this is a recession. And then let me see. So 2020 was recession, 2007 through 2008 was a recession. Let me grab my charger before I go into the dollar one, because that was an interesting one to look at too. Let me show you that. How you feeling?
Yeah, just so do you think um
I'm
we're
here.
in a recession or going into a recession?
I would say, sorry, one second. I'm gonna get back in front of you. I'm just grabbing this charger. I would say we're going into a recession, but the recession, us going into one, is not bad news for the dollar. But assets against the dollar go up, but there will be at some point a sharp dive, I feel like, but that's the matter of what we don't know, and it's not our job to tell the market when. It's just something that I try to execute from, if that makes sense. And that's why I use like the account sizes that I do to begin with, because it'll have time to build the momentum. It'll have time to see if we write about certain things. But it's like in a recession, oh, that's what we're talking about. In a recession, this is what it is. It's not just the dollar falling. All of these have to line up, if that makes sense, like one big giant puzzle piece. And that's why they announce it late, because just because the dollar's falling, the dollar's been falling since 2025. Really, again, since 2022. It's been falling since 2022. And then again in 2025, and then again here in 2026. But then looking at over here, let me see. So if they say 2007 through 2009 was a recession that lasted 18 months, that was like a pretty average recession, but not too lengthy, right? So this is 2007, that January here, and then you see how we are right here through 2000. They said through 2009, it will be right here. I see exactly what they did, and that's why it's interesting now to look at, because I never thought about it like back then, but they announce it late, because once all their indicators line up, this is every indicator that has to line up for them to announce a recession, because they don't want to cause mass panic. Because now that a lot of the world, got their stuff together, like people nowadays are doing better about investing in assets and businesses and stuff like that. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they have the psychology behind it. Oh no, it's not charging. Well, I think we'll be done by before the end of it. We should be fine.
So
So it's like, It's like recessions. Just because the dollar is falling, they need all of these points to line up. But if the news was meant to make people rich, that's it would people would be